You know me, an OG, pick only what's OP, and nobody owe me no thing but a trophy and a fat check with mad zeros like tempo. Put my enemies in boxes like bento.
Hey everyone, Speedy Tempo here, and I'm back with another reaction. This time, this is the first one for the channel. I'm actually going to be reacting to the latest video from Jaidenanimations, and it's called My First Time Playing Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I have been watching Jaiden for a few years now, basically ever since she started doing her Nuzlocke videos, and I love Jaiden's videos. They're always hilarious. They always just always has a great story to tell. Things that she's experienced and whatnot, and she's very relatable, even though I can't draw like her or at all really, but yeah, she has very relatable stories, and she's always, like I said, hilarious with the stories. Now, in terms of being relatable, I have actually played Dungeons and Dragons a couple times in my life. I haven't been part of any like long ongoing campaigns, but I've dabbled here and there over the past few years. So I kind of know a bit about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm actually kind of interested in playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is basically like a video game version of Dungeons and Dragons. Whether I actually do that or not is another story, but I'm actually interested in it, and that kind of spawns from my couple forays into D&D. So, time to see what Jaiden thinks of D&D. This should be fun. If her Digimon video, if it's anything like that, this is gonna be great. So, without further ado, let me just switch the scene. Yeah. Go full screen. Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons is like a board game without.
One second.
Out the board.
Okay, my microphone, my plug wasn't fully plugged into my microphone from my headphones. Okay, now let's get started. Let's full screen it and start in 3, 2, 1. Now.
Dungeons and Dragons is like a board game without the board, and you play using your imagination. If you think of something,
kind of
it
a
can
board.
just happen in game. D&D is very popular. Almost everyone I've ever met absolutely loves it, and I have never played it.
Also, I should probably turn down the audio there. Yeah, that should be better.
Before, even though I always thought I would really like it. People would tell me stories of their games, like, so this one time me and my party were entering a cave, and there was a big ogre guarding some treasure, but I used my charisma stat to seduce him, and we ended up eloping together. Dude, if you don't think that sounds crazy fun, then I don't think we would get along, and you should
it does sound
subscribe.
crazy and fun,
But
and also
if you
crazy
think
fun.
that sounds fun, then hey. Sorry, I've never done that before. It felt weird. I decided to reach out to Charlie, aka Slimesicle,
I know what you mean.
aka Charlie Slimesicle, because he's super into
Oh,
D&D,
Slimesicle.
and we ended up forming a little group of me,
I know of
Alfred,
Slimesicle.
Raku as the players, and Charlie as the dungeon master, which is like the game organizer slash manager slash god. We
Yeah.
all created our characters, and into the world we were teleported.
Of course.
The clouds part.
Of course,
over a
Alfred looks
vast,
like
lush
Larry.
forest. In it, a giant ancient oak tree can be found looming over all the other trees. The inside has been hollowed out, and a sign hangs on the side reading Old Oak Inn. Inside,
typical
many
start.
creatures of various origins are relaxing, drinking, socializing, but one stands
Why does that
out.
redhead
A
look
cat,
familiar?
equipped with various instruments, sits at a table, leaning over their cup of milk and scanning the room. They spot a dragonborn drinking at the bar, alone, seemingly pondering life. From the other end of the bar, a man in a suit approaches the dragon and starts a casual conversation. Do you know Mark? No, I don't.
A plier?
Who are you? I'm Paul. I'm an assistant manager at Ye Old Mart of Wall. 43 years old. My wife passed away during childbirth. My parents died. And my only child, Paul Jr., ran away at age 6. I'm living a deadbeat life, not even able to go up in the corporate ladder because my manager, Mark, prevents me from doing so. So here I am, drinking away my woes. I'm Zoot. Hi, excuse me. Are you two
It's a backstory.
new around here? Born and raised. I wish I was. Okay, so I've been stuck in a time loop for what I believe to be the past 3 years. I've relived the same day over and over. I suspect my neighbor Thomas somehow trapped me here, but I don't know how to escape. I can believe it. Look, over there. In about 5 seconds, there's a 70% chance a waiter is gonna trip and drop their glasses onto the ground.
Oh.
Well, alright, it's a bit impressive, but
I guess the
like,
dice rolled
it's gonna take
properly.
a bit more convincing because that wasn't all that. Suddenly, a sheep crashes through the tavern windows and starts
Coconut Mall.
rampaging around the inn. It's going straight up crazy, knocking over tables, knocking over people. Paul mentions it's got something in its mouth, and the sheep
it's like a
immediately
scroll.
stops and runs straight up to him. As Paul takes what seems to be a scroll out of the sheep's mouth, Zoot whips out their mace in an attempt to pepper spray the sheep, but slips on a
What?
bottle of rum and accidentally sprays Paul,
Ow.
who just is disappointed at this point. As we open the scroll, and Zoot, recognizing it's a speak with animals spell, translates it, casting a huge shockwave and blasting everything in its radius.
Oh, there goes that
Hello?
pub.
Can you understand me now? Why the did you try to spray me with mace? Zoot and the sheep start bickering as Paul and Tholomew just stare at them. Just forget it, forget it. I'm no ordinary sheep. I used to be human and was cursed into a sheep's body. My name is Luop, and I need your help.
This
becoming
BGM
human
sounds
again.
familiar too.
Please. Alright, Lop. Well, it's Luop. Come on, guys, let's go. And for some reason, they all went along with it, still not understanding what the hell is going on. Maybe, they both thought, they could find their arch enemies, Mark and Thompson, along the way. The group is walking through the woods. Tholomew is very on edge, feeling like something isn't quite right. The tree line is shifting in unnatural ways. Oak trees are turning into birch. The bushes are rustling. Zoot spots various random animals along the path and picks up a turtle,
that Ari?
which they add to their inventory. Paul tries to pocket a turtle of
Why a
his
turtle?
own, but it turns out to be a rock. Mauled by a cougar. He ends up unharmed, though his adventure suit he changed into is now ruined. Zoot feels bad about Paul not getting a turtle, so they offer to let Paul name theirs, to which he chooses Paul Jr. They eventually reach a clearing with a large stone outcrop covered in engraved shifting runes. Carved into a stone is a large bronze door with a face on it.
Yeah.
Hello. You should try to impress it. Oh, okay.
Answer me these riddles 3.
Oh boy.
Then you can come in. I'm a riddle door.
I guess they don't rhyme.
The alphabet goes from A to Z, but I go from Z to A. What am I?
The alphabet backwards.
Zebra? Okay.
The answer was zebra.
Hey, I got it right.
I move without wings, between silken strings. I weave as they find my substance.
I'm gonna say
Silkworm?
a spider, because I got the butt strings.
Correct.
Oh, that too.
May pass.
Wait, but can you turn our friend back?
Oh yeah, double or nothing. Answer this next riddle, and your friend will be turned back. I creep and crawl with no eyes, legs, or ears, but I can move the earth with my peers. What am I?
An
Can
iceberg?
you use it in a sentence?
In answer to the question,
Yeah, like spelling bee style.
nice try, but you're not gonna worm your way out of this.
Did you just say it?
I think
Worm.
I picked up on it. I don't know if you noticed, but he said worm on accident. I'm very detail oriented.
Don't listen to him, he's a zebra.
Paul Jr., what do you think the answer is? Turtle. Turtle, final answer. It's a worm. The adventurers walk through the door's mouth, which closes behind them. As they're walking into an open room, they're greeted by a closed silver
This is definitely
door.
Mario music.
Zoot immediately pitches the turtle at the door, but nothing happens. There's 3 dishes of clay placed in front of 3 pedestals, and the door face emerges once again, this time
again.
on the ceiling.
There's a ceiling face now.
Not wanting to deal with more riddles, Zoot throws a dagger into the door's eye.
Ow!
Fine, I'm not helping you with this one.
The group, now lost with no direction, decides for some reason to all start eating the clay, even feeding some to Paul Jr. and Lwop against their wills. After all the clay has been consumed, the pillars glow red and more clay drops down from the ceiling, resetting the puzzle. Out of ideas, they decide to do what the door face suggested. Tholomew sculpts a crown, Zoot rolls out a worm, and Paul builds a penguin. They all place their creations on pedestals, which sink in and beam green before the lights turn out and everything goes dark. They flash back on and suddenly all their creations have come to life in weird clay flesh bodies. Paul cleaves at his penguin with his great axe, nearly cutting it clean in half, revealing that the inside is just more clay. The worm monster looks at Zoot and says, "It's wormin' time!" to scream and sending a shockwave towards it, immediately exploding the worm and splattering clay everywhere, living as a normal-sized worm now. The worm lunges and wraps itself around Zoot's throat, trying to choke them out. Tholomew
How is it able to wrap
rips
itself
the arms off
around
the
his
crown
throat?
monster and dodges
Around
its
the throat if
attack.
it's a
The
normal-sized
penguin
worm.
reforms itself, sprints full speed at Paul, but slips and splats into a pile of clay on the ground, to which Paul finishes off with his axe. Meanwhile, Tholomew attempts to rip the legs off the crown, only for the crown legs to turn into arms, grabbing Tholomew and climbing onto their head, causing them to lose their mind, viewing the other party members as enemies. Paul shifts his attention to Tholomew, throwing his great axe horizontally at the crown. Unfortunately, it goes a bit low and the handle smacks Tholomew directly in the face. Zoot gets a grip on the worm, ripping it off their throat, and breathes acid onto it until it's reduced.
We could do that the whole time.
Tholomew blows on their bagpipes to attack Paul, sending out a thunderous shockwave that shakes the cavern. Paul is able to hold his ground, runs up to the 2, and successfully cleans the crown off Tholomew's head. All the clay monsters have been defeated. The silver door opens, and everyone cheers together in celebration. The adventurers enter the new room to be greeted by wooden structures, spiral staircases, platforms, and a golden door at the very back wall. It looks like a camp is set up inside the
being like a
area,
final
and
boss
voices
at the end
can
of
be
this.
heard above on one of the platforms. Tholomew
That's like
scans
a
the area, looking for traces
Dungeon
of
Master
the
type thing to
mayor,
do.
Thompson. Not only do they discover a pack of goblins that
Is that the
inhabited
horse
area,
from Adventure
but he also
Time?
recognizes a familiar boot print in the clay. It's the same
The weird
type
horse.
Thompson wears. He's been here. Paul climbs up to the goblin platform and sparks conversation. The goblins are confused and a bit wary of the intruders, but introduce themselves nonetheless.
I'm Gob, that's Glob, that's Gobble, that's Gobble Gob, and that's the Peeler,
Ugh, I don't
who's
trust the
that?
peeler.
that's Bloyle.
So your names are Gob, Glob, Gobble, Gobble Gob, Peeler, and Bloyle?
The Peeler.
Got it.
Yeah,
So
I
your
remember
name is
the-
the Peeler. You don't know anything about Mark or Thompson.
I only know about one thing.
Peeling,
And that's peeling. Yeah.
of course.
Great, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
That's not
Okay,
peeling,
alright,
that's stabbing.
alright, we're leaving. Paul starts booking it to the door they came in through, the peeler right on his tail, stabbing at his ankles. No one else is doing or saying anything, they're just watching. Paul makes it back to the previous room, and the peeler slinks into the shadows.
Wait,
With Paul
can't
in the
go
other
past
room
the
and Tholomew
door?
and Zoot unable to speak Goblin, Tholomew is left trying to communicate through improvised sign language, pointing at the door and blowing kisses at the goblins to signal peace. Zoot tries to slip around the goblins in the meantime, as communication is clearly not working and the goblins are only getting more aggressive, but they bump into an invisible force they can't see, alerting the goblins, who are now initiating combat. Zoot decides to keep running to the door as Tholomew bangs on their drums, sending sound shockwaves at the attacking goblins. Gob, Glob, and Gobble are all sent flying off the edge of the platform, falling to their deaths. Gobblegob, in a fit of rage after losing his friends, lunges at Tholomew but misses, sending himself off the edge of the platform too. The peeler emerges from the shadows to lunge at Tholomew, who is taking up Loyal,
Oh.
but Paul jumps in just in time,
Oh,
flashing
nice.
blades with him. As everyone is distracted, Zoot gets to the door, peeking in to see an entirely golden room with a small golden rod shaped like a tree branch floating at the center. The branch
supposed to be
shifts
gold?
between valuable materials, at one
Was it like
moment being
white
made
gold?
of gold, then
Oh.
Emerald, then Ruby.
Oh, it changed
Goblin,
color, okay.
The goblin that accidentally dove off the side of the platform, sprints back up the stairs and attempts to tackle Bartholomew off the
It's like
platform.
one of the
but
enemies from
accidentally leaps over him and plummets once again
Breath of the Wild.
over the edge. This time to his demise. Paul and
Okay.
Bartholomew perform a clumsy team attack together.
Yeah, it's definitely
to finish off
Superstar
the
Saga
group,
music.
ending the battle, but because of the uncoordinated attack, Paul's axe is now peeled. They
Aw.
all hurry over to Zoot and enter the golden room together, trying to figure out how to get the artifact down. Zoot suggests they all toss Lop into the air to get it down. So Paul so long Bowser's the sheep into the air, but in the complete opposite
Ow.
direction. Bartholomew quickly runs over and breaks his fall, and before Lop can say anything, they throw him again, this time hitting their target as they both fall to the ground. No one stops Lop's fall this time as he lays motionless on the floor. As Bartholomew is healing up Lop, Zoot approaches the wand, only for it to be snatched by an invisible force. An unseen figure then reveals itself.
Another goblin?
Well, hey there,
No.
neighbor. Oh, and Paul. It's me, your good friend, Mark. Thompson. Bartholomew.
Both of them were the same
ruined
person.
My life, spreading false rumors about me. You said I cursed you, and now no one wants to talk to me. My wife and kids left me. Everyone avoids me. So I spent years becoming a dark wizard, and I'm gonna have my revenge. What about me? And you, Paul. Anyway, you all are gonna be spending the rest of your lives here in this shifty sanctum. I'll be going now. Bartholomew quickly casts Locate Object on the wand Mark is now holding and throws ink in the general direction, hoping to reveal where Mark is, but unfortunately it doesn't land. Zoot sprints in the direction Bartholomew indicated and attempts to tackle the air. They make contact but bounce off of Mark's rock-solid beer gut, breaking the invisible. Bartholomew whips out their drums, slamming it with the intent to cast a thunder wave on Mark, sending him flying from the impact. Zoot follows behind and shouts, "Depression!" casting a command spell on him. He stops in his tracks, facing Zoot, and says, "I'm so sad, having never dealt with depression before." He pulls out a picture of his ex-wife and kids and just stares at it.
Why does this kid have a
longingly.
mustache and
Paul and Bartholomew see their chance to attack
balding
him and
pattern?
once again try to use an ultimate team attack. They grip Paul's peeled axe together and throw it in tandem at Mark. But once again, they mess up, and Bartholomew is accidentally sent flying with the axe as it pierces Mark's chest. Mark is unfazed, still wallowing in his depression, but Zoot sees this as an opportunity, casting Disguise Self and visually turning themselves into Mark's ex-wife. Ella, is that you? It is! Mark.
It's like I'm looking at the ultimate imposter
Mark
from
drops the phone
Danganronpa.
sobbing, and slowly walks towards Zoot, who has their arms out, ready for his embrace. He grabs Zoot and pulls him close, tears streaming down his face. It's been so hard. It's okay.
Why does it get so heartfelt all of a sudden?
Zoot pulls back.
Or
just a
with
bit,
rug pull.
just to look into Mark's eyes, which are sparkling with tears. And proceeds to acid blast him point blank from the middle. Alive, snapping back to reality and throwing.
That
Paul's axe
didn't
to the
kill
ground.
him?
If I can't have the wand, no one can. Paul picks up one part of his peeled axe. Looks like the manager position just opened up. He throws the axe and hits Mark, but doesn't kill him. He then picks up the other peeled axe part to throw as well, but it boomerangs around and hits him in the back of the head. Bartholomew grabs the wand
Man,
from the ground.
Alpharaz
and
is
throws it
not
at Mark.
getting any
This
luck.
is for everything. The low tax return, the restraining order for moving in next to me. You're my personal hell! Mark turns to Paul while being zapped by the wand. Would you still let me be your manager, even if I was
A worm. What's with this campaign and worms?
You're fired. You guys did it! Please, use the wand to turn me back into a human. Please! Bartholomew casts the wand's powers onto Lop.
No, I was wondering what
Back
Lop
into his
reminded me of. It just reminds me of
Paul and now human Lop.
Asgore.
Lock eyes.
not Asgore. Azrael.
Hi, Dad. Paul Jr.
What?
Is that you?
That just. Oh,
Paul and his
clever.
long-lost son, Paul Jr.
This whole
embrace.
story just
The
came full
wand,
circle.
Now all of magic crumbles into dust, and the party exits the cave. The bomb is detonate, and the explosions erupt behind them as the group walks off.
Cool guys never look at explosions.
Thanks for watching. This was a different type of video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Especially big thanks to Charlie, Ronbu, and Jacob for the great D&D session. It was super fun, and I really want to play more. I'd like to upload highlights of the actual D&D session to my second channel eventually.
That'd be cool.
But it's not ready yet because
Oh.
I'm bad at planning. So maybe that'll happen one day. Anyway, this was a big project. Thank you to the team as always, and to Sir Meow for the sound effects. Links to everyone are in the description. Okay, I will see you later. Bye-bye.
That was fun. So was this video. I watched that when I was on a break from work. Wait. Oh, here's a D&D session. Wow, 4.5 hours almost. Wow. All right, well that was Jaiden's first foray into D&D, and it seemed like she enjoyed it. Wait, is this a Mori? Yeah, Jaiden plays a Mori for the first time. It's 2 hours long. Huh. I just have to play a Mori. I kind of know what it's about. Well, I don't really know what it's about, but I've seen a lot of it going around, so I'm curious about it, but I haven't played it yet myself. So yeah, that was Jaiden's first foray into D&D, and yeah, it seemed like she liked it. So I hope she continues to play it. Me, I don't have that great of an imagination enough to get into D&D like a full campaign. Plus, I just have so many other hobbies that it's it'd be hard for me to keep up with it, I feel. But I have experience with this, so if I ever get invited to play again, I'll play maybe like a one-shot type thing or something like that. But yeah, that was my reaction to Jaiden's first time playing D&D. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to say anything, leave a comment down below. Also, here's a new thing. If you have anything that you want me to react to, be sure to leave that in the comments below too. I'm always looking for new things to react to. And yeah, I just want to see what you guys think I should be reacting to. So, until next time, I've been Speedy Tempo, and I'm out. See you guys.